All right, let me know. That'd be crazy. What's up, Tink? I see you got a question.
Yo, Mr. Schmidt. So I got a question. Basically, I got the seller finance deal under contract. Already got some buyers for it or whatever, because there's a little money down, etc. Only thing I'm kind of worried about is I got it in the creative oven, and the cash on cash returns 22.75%. Buyer entry fee 16.69%. Everything looks great, but I have it it's an interest only. I don't know how you feel about those. It's at 5%, 8-year balloon, 30,000 down. What are your thoughts on that?
I would stay away from like interest only because you want to be building equity at the same time.
Right.
So I would just go back and be like, yeah, we'll do. Not willing to do interest only. I'll do principal and interest.
Because she wanted some crazy numbers with the principal. I was trying to get her to do 3% interest only, but it just wasn't working. It's a $320,000 house, needs nothing. But I mean, the only thing I was kind of concerned about is like the balloon, because you're paying 150 in interest and the payoff amount and whatnot. So I don't know. It's just kind of a little concerning, but
yeah, I'd go back. I wouldn't do interest only.
all right, most definitely. And then that property you had on I don't know, it was, you were on TikTok, that 1.9 milli. Did you end up getting that?
It was actually an old deal, old resurfaced. Yeah, that was from before I took that break on TikTok, so maybe like 8-9 months ago, something like that. Yeah. Alrighty. So I guess anybody else have any other questions or anything before we dive into this?
You said you were going to send me the Scottsdale info.
Which one?
The house you got from me in Scottsdale with our Saucy realtor.
Yes. Let's do that. That was today, right?
Excuse me, that was yesterday.
I got too many pulled up. Let me find it. Are you sure we didn't leave Scottsdale?
It may have been outside. You said it was like $1 million plus and it had like a horse farm on it or something as well.
Here it is.
Could you just send it to me at Discord? I'll just message you real quick so I'm on top.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
That was not even a sub 2. That was just seller finance, right, Jason?
One of the two.
I think it was seller finance. But you said they would ask. So, like, what you could do is I would just shoot them a text and be like, hey, spoke to Eric about the property. Would you be open to it? Or the seller's open as the seller finance on it?
Yeah, she said that she was seeing them either today's Thursday, later on today. She said she'll get back to you Thursday or Friday. So I'll just reach out probably Friday afternoon.
Alrighty. That sounds good. Anybody else that got a deal for like on TikTok the past day or two?
Oh, and I followed up with that one deal you got me in Texas.
And where are you at with that?
So he reapplied, and then the agent's talking to the attorney for what the reinstatement amount would be. So I'll have the answer to those probably next week or so.
Alrighty. That sounds good. Keep me posted on that then. All right, so I know we got a couple new faces. Anybody new to the group that had like any issues getting inside like the course or the community in the Discord, or just like any questions? No. All right, sweet. All right, so today what we'll do, guys, I want to, as requested, we'll do a little bit of a deep dive into like the whole rental game, managing the tenants, just like try and cover like everything A to Z. We'll keep it like somewhat loose. I don't necessarily have like a strict structure to this. So if you guys have questions, like as we're going through this, throw it in the chat or just interrupt me. That's totally cool too. And then if anybody has any rentals too and you guys want to chime in, we'll just keep it like kind of like a discussion going. And then we'll do some deal help and we'll do all that good stuff. So let's dive into it. So as far as like renting the homes, right? So we underwrote the deal, everything checks out. We're picking it up as a rental. as far as like finding tenants, you got multiple options, right? So you could list it up on Zillow for rent, or my favorite was always slapping it up on Facebook Marketplace for rent. Everything I've ever rented was just from Facebook Marketplace. So, post the good photos, description of the home, and, try and be somewhat for normal rental, not a wrap. Just be like
I
somewhat.
was just about to ask you that what the exit was going to be, whether it was a wrap or if you had a seller finance, because those exits are totally different, I would imagine.
Somewhat, but not a whole lot different.
Yeah, not a whole lot, but they're still different in terms of, yeah, I get you.
I'll touch on that just for a second for everybody. So like when you do the rent to own, or you're like doing a wrap or whatever, I still like the handful of those that I did, I would still slap them up on Facebook, like in the for rent section. But on the actual photo, like whatever is going to be the first photo for the post, I would always put like a caption over the photo, like on the photo, if that makes sense, text on it. And it would just say rent to own and then no credit needed. And that would that would draw a lot of attention. Like, oh, wow, I'm looking for a house to rent, but now I see a rent to own opportunity, no credit needed. Awesome. And then you'll kind of get some traction like that for the rent to owns. But normal rentals, like there's so many platforms you could post it on. I've had nothing but luck posting it just on Facebook in the for rent section. Obviously, if you wanted to, if you're struggling to get it rented, it's kind of a drier market, I guess, that you're in. You could post it in like local groups and things of that nature. And again, it's just photos, description of the home, what you're asking, simple stuff. Anybody have any questions on that? Pretty straightforward, right? Alrighty, next big thing, and I guess as we go through this, I'll kind of like compare the normal tenant compared to the rent to own or the wrap type of person. So like obviously next person or next piece in line. So like, all right, we got people interested. Obviously we're gonna have them fill out applications. This is like the most important part, like properly qualifying the people, because a huge mistake I made early in the rental game, I didn't know what I was doing. It's like I would take like anybody, like, all right, whoever can give me the highest move-in. I always did non-refundable move-in fees, not a security deposit. That way we can keep it. Check in your state if you can't do that. But I would be like, all right, whoever can give me the most money, non-refundable, is going to get the unit, be able to rent from me. And that was a huge mistake, because you'll get some people, they're like, yeah, I'll give you $5,000 non-refundable. I'll give you $2,000-$3,000 non-refundable, whatever. And you're charging them like, or at least I was at the time, I was charging them that max market rent. And then things would just fall apart. Like a couple months into the rental, they're like, oh, I don't have the rent. It's like, oh my gosh. And so I quickly learned within the matter of a few months of doing that, like, yo, we got to really qualify these people. So like, as far as like qualifying a tenant, obviously I want to find somebody that has good credit, ideally somebody 700 plus, because they value that. Then I would look at their tax returns if they got them, look at their bank statements. I want to see how much money they're actually pulling in, but then how much are they actually retaining? Like, are they making $5,000 a month and then blowing all $5,000, or are they earning $5,000 a month and they still got, I don't know, $2,500, $3,000 left over after their living expenses, right? So somebody that's somewhat decent with managing money too. That's kind of what I'm looking for on those bank statements. There's been times where I've asked for the past landlord. So here's a little tip for you guys. If you just ask somebody and you're like, hey, give me the number of your last landlord or whatever, it's so easy for them to just give you their buddy or something like that. So I would look at the license, ask for a photo of the license, and then skip trace that address, and then ask them, hey, were you renting to so-and-so? And more times than not, it was on the money. Like that was their last address, or somebody that has rented to that person in the past, if that makes sense. So it's a little thing there. Like I said, I didn't write anything else. I'm just going off the top here. Think if there's anything else.
When did you start using property management? I imagine if you're doing one rental and you're out of state, that I would imagine I'd probably do PM, probably like if my third one is in that area.
I've never used property management.
Gotcha.
I'll talk on that in just a little bit too. So, over 60 doors bought on Creative Finance and held as rentals. I would say I sold quite a few of them. So I would say maybe somewhere in the 30s is what I've managed at one given moment. like one given time. Um, the other thing too is I didn't really manage too much of them. Most of that work was just offloaded onto my business partner, so he dealt with a lot of this stuff. But me and him, this was like early in the game. Me and him, we would still be doing the wholesale operation, and just from like we're always together, it really didn't take him much time at all. You know, it becomes more of a headache when you got to chase people down for money, right? So like if this person's late, that person's late, and people aren't paying, then I'm going to be chasing down people, and it's just going to become a freaking nightmare. So if you properly qualify the people, then you'll be collecting rent instead of making a bunch of phone calls trying to get it. The other thing too just came to mind is a lot of people don't realize this or just don't speak about this, but it's also like the class of tenant too. So like Jason, you're a perfect example. You're in a very high price point market. You can get a freaking 1,200 square foot home for $700,000, $800,000. Or if you're in a market like New York, really expensive stuff, higher end stuff. California is the same way, even a little bit of Jersey. When you're renting, when you have a really nice piece of real estate, like, okay, I got a nice home right here. It's $800,000 home. I'm going to be charging $2,500, maybe $3,500 a month. And we're charging that high premium, and it's a higher class tenant. They're going to just have it. They're going to come with higher expectations with renting your house, which tends to lead to more problems. You know, Jay Chris, some of you guys know him. He's in the group, but he had a bunch of homes in New York, and he was having that massive headache. Exactly what I'm telling you guys. Like, yo, these tenants, they're calling me because there's no batteries in the smoke detector. They're calling me to change a freaking light bulb. They're calling me because the toilet's not flush. Like, whatever. Like, you're just gonna get a lot more maintenance type phone calls over like the stupidest little things, like the stairs are squeaking, like stupid stuff. And all of my rentals, like these ones behind me, were really cheap real estate. So like at that time, sub 200,000 was the average home, somewhere in the low ones. But my class of tenant, well, I wasn't renting to doctors and attorneys and these wealthy people. I'm renting to what I would say is like the lower middle class. So what kind of comes with that, these more beat up homes that I'm renting, the person interested in renting my somewhat rough house, they're coming from that type of environment, I guess. Yeah. So they have less of an expectation. I can remember I walked into one house. I'd never even seen it, but I was renting to them for like a year. I walked into the house, and on the bottom floor, it was like a split level. So on the base floor, they had a drop ceiling. They had a tile removed, and there was a pipe leaking, and they just had a bucket catching the water. I'm like, how long has that been going there? Oh, since we lived here. Like, no big deal whatsoever. Now, obviously, it's nice to know about those things going on, but it's that class of tenant. When somebody is used to lower standards of living, if you will, it's just going to come with like less headache, less complaints about whatever. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, I think, get it backwards. Like, oh, I want to get some nice homes to rent, but you really might not want to. Might not be the best play. Could come with more headache too. I guess, does anybody have any questions so far, like anything or anything in general on the topic?
What are you using software-wise to keep track of all that? When you had like your maximum rentals, what were you using software-wise to keep track of that? And were you letting them use a third-party system for payments, or were you just sending out Stripe automatically?
That's a great question. Turbo Tenant. There's so many good platforms out there. There was one before Turbo Tenant. It was too advanced though. Forget the name. There's some people in the group. Age rate in the group. He uses Zillow Rent Manager or whatever, and he was using Turbo Tenant before that. He switched. He said he loves it. He said it's just a little bit easier. I've been using Turbo Tenant, but yeah, I mean, there's so many platforms out there to manage. I just don't recommend, even if you have one rental, still get on a platform, because you want the direct deposit, right? Yeah. I don't want to call, hey, can you send me a Zelle, or did you mail the check? Like, we don't want that. We want to automate this whole process.
Yeah. So, and that's why I like about the Stripe account, because I already have a Stripe account already. So
yeah.
I think I'd probably want to set up another one instead of using this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so check out Turbo Tenant, or maybe check out Zillow Rento Me or Zillow Rent Manager, I think it's called. I've heard quite a few good things about that. But yeah, the important thing is that direct deposit. As far as paying the sellers, I direct deposit into their account too. Automatic wires come out of my bank just to the tenants, right?
And then are you auto paying the owners?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by my seller, like the whoever seller finance and or whoever the quote unquote bank on the deal. Mm-hmm. Yep. Alrighty, so we cover where to rent, qualifying the tenant. Any questions on that? Feel good?
Then we got Jason with the where do you report your tenants for rent?
Do you report your tenants' rent payments? No, I don't. Maybe clarify, specify what you mean by report.
The way it read sounded like for the credit, or not credit, the taxes.
He's saying taxes? No, I do it at the end of the year. Credit bureaus? No either. I don't do any of that. Just haven't dabbled with that, to be honest.
Bro, I'll tell you, the one thing, I don't know if you ever heard of it. I don't know who you finance your properties through, but Fannie Mae, if you finance through them, actually, this program actually I think goes to like everybody, but it's called like the positive rent report, something like that. So basically, like when I do rentals, I'll even touch on the topic like before. I'll back it up a second. When you were talking about how to like manage the properties, the best thing I've found to work out is I basically tell my tenants, I'm like, look, I'm not a concierge service. You know, your maintenance is on you. Rent's due on the first of the month. And if you want to discuss any repairs that you did, bring me the receipts. That's the best thing I've used, like my most common practice, and that's worked really well, especially in like a market like NOLA. It's like a self-governance thing. And then I've tried to do rentals in like Boston area and stuff, dude, bro. And this is like brutal when it comes to rentals. The protections that the tenants have are just like, I had a $30 million deal, like 208 units, 36 buildings. And bro, it fell through because I could not get any investors to agree on the tenant protections. Like, they were just like, no, the reason they're selling that and they're out of that business is because the Massachusetts rules and like tenant protections are just too rough. So it is definitely market specific. And what I'll say is like the NOLA market, like I said, like self-governance works really well. And then back on your point about the reporting to the credit bureaus. The good thing about the positive rent program is that you can actually give your tenants, like preferred tenants that I have that I know like are struggling or whatever, and they need like a little boost. I offer that to them in the lease. Like basically I say, I'll report it to the credit bureaus, and I'll only report positive. The good thing about this program is it'll only report positive payment towards the program. So they'll get credit when they pay, but like if something happens where they might miss a month or whatever, it won't report negatively. So that's the good thing about the positive rent program, PRP. But I offer that to most of the tenants, like my preferred, the ones I know that are like need a little boost. Regular tenants, like I said, self-governance works best for them. Just telling them like I said, like not a hotel lobby, don't call me for every thing. Basically, So just touching on all that.
No, I like that. To touch on what you said too, you brought up another good point. So, it's really important to look into like what are the state laws, right, with evicting people, with squatters, all that good stuff. If you're in a state like California, New York, Jersey, it could take like a year to get somebody out, and you're still paying that mortgage. So that's why when I see on like TikTok Live, people are like New York, I'm like, I would not be in a market like that, because it's just going to be a nightmare trying to get people out of there. Down here in Florida and up in Pennsylvania, it's really, really easy to get to, evict somebody if they're not paying. It's really not hard. Call it 60, 90 days. They're definitely going to be out of there. Right. So it's really important that you guys consider what state you're actually picking this stuff up in, which then I guess leads me to the other thing I wanted to bring up, local versus out of state. I think a lot of people kind of fear like, oh, I want to be local to the property. But, at the end of the day, like, I don't, some people are afraid of doing stuff virtually. Even when I lived in Pennsylvania and the properties are 20 minutes down the road, I'm still not going over there to change a toilet or do some stuff. It's just not, you got to value your time, right? It costs what, $100 to change a toilet out or repair it, whatever, your time's worth more than that. Right. So everything that I do is just on a virtual model. And, without having property management local, it's literally just me. The whole play is to have boots on the ground, right? So you want at least, call it maybe 2 to 3 handyman just on call. That way, if the first guy ain't good, then we could send the next guy. Like, hey, you free? Can you go check this out? Whatever the issue is, somebody just on call, not a company, local handyman. Easy way to find them would just be on like Craigslist. Or better yet, like if you have connections, like, you got buyers that you're connected with on your buyers list, just hit them up. If they got rentals, yo, man, you got any good handyman? I'm going to start picking up stuff or whatever. So Craigslist, buyers list, connections with agents could bring you a handyman too. But get some handyman connections, which ain't hard at all. You can make that happen within a short period of time. And then some of the bigger contractors, right? It will take, what I would say though is, when I say bigger contractors, what I'm talking about is like licensed electricians, plumbers, HVAC specialists, whatever. People with, with the higher skill sets, if you will, with those bigger things. I wouldn't say you necessarily have to have somebody like on call before you pick up a property. I surely didn't. You'll, when something pops up, like, oh, there's an electrical issue, I'm going to get a couple opinions, not just one. I'm going to probably send 3, before I have somebody established, I'll send 3 guys over there. Hey, what do you think's going on with this? And just feel them out, right? Just try and be the judge. Like, who do I think telling me the truth? What's actually wrong with it? And then what do I think a good price is? And then, within time, with these types of things popping up, then you'll eventually hone in and you'll have those strong connects for these different services. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on that so far? Or like anything we talked about? Pretty simple, right?
Yeah, I'll just say, as far as like the getting somebody like a property manager on site, like somebody lives in one of the units, especially this works pretty well for like big multiplexes. If you can find somebody you actually trust, like a good tenant or somebody who doesn't really care about like buying a house too soon, they're good with living in it, they're kind of good at handy stuff, it might work. But I honestly think the self-governance policy is probably the most effective method. Just basically telling them up front when you're vetting the tenant that it's basically just, it is what it is. You want premium services. They got somebody down the street, you can pay them $3,000 a month to live there, but I'm only charging $1,000, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There are things like Greystar and premium property management. You're paying big dollars for that, but you know what I mean. Well,
let's touch on the property management for a little bit. So the couple things. One, property management, you're probably looking somewhere around 10%. So it's an additional expense, right? Then to go a little bit deeper on that, people could screw you over on property management. You can't trust a property manager. I'll tell you guys a quick story. So I have a buddy. He's 600 plus doors deep between Houston and San Antonio, and I don't know if it was him or his friend. It was a little while that he told me this. But they had like Freon, I think it was for like the AC or something, and it was $60,000 worth for their building. He paid, or whoever, they paid for the Freon, $60,000 worth, didn't install any of it, and they just sold it to make a quick buck, which is nuts. So like the big thing too is, you got to like you got to babysit the property manager. You can't just, oh yeah, it's in their hands, because they're going to be running up bills left and right. So I don't, even with 30 something doors at once, I don't think it's like rocket science or very time consuming whatsoever, as long as you have good tenants and you're not buying like absolute garbage properties where stuff's going to be breaking left and right. Right?
You understand?
Anybody have any questions on that? No? All right. Let's keep rolling. Let me see. A couple other things, I guess. So, talked a little bit. Mike, I'm just going to mute you. There's some background noise there.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
You're good. You're good. So, the other thing to go back into like the whole boots on the ground. So obviously we got those couple connects that we made for those like random emergent, hey, my toilet's leaking or the faucet broke, whatever, all those on-call types of people. But doing it from like a virtual model, we're not actually local to the property. What you'd want to do too, a couple of things. We want to know like what's actually going on in these homes. Are they getting beat up or are they being respectful and keeping up with stuff? So my couple tips. One would be to contact the neighbor, right? So skip trace the addresses next door, whatever. Try and get the neighbors on the phone. I like doing this, and I would just ask them like, hey, I bought this property. It's a rental. If they're given any issues, you hear yelling at night, if it's anything a bother or anything out of the blue, just let me know. Give me a call. And neighbors are freaking nosy. We all know that. So they'll rat the tenant out pretty quick most of the time. And then on top of that, obviously we want to send people through. So I would say, when it's a brand new tenant, we don't really know the person, do it maybe like within a 60, 90-day window of them first getting in there. Like, hey, we're going to do a walkthrough to make sure everything's good, or we're coming in to make something up. Get the guy on the boots on the ground. We'll spend $30 if they're real local, $30. Hey man, can you just take photos and send it over to me? Let me know if it's in good shape. And that's it. And then, if you do that over the course of, say, like you do it 2-3 times within the first year renting to that person, if everything's been like good up until then you're probably good just to like cut them loose. Like, hey, they're paying on time. We've done 3 inspections this year. They're keeping up with the house. Everything's good. You know what I mean? Obviously, you can keep it going if you wanted to, but after a year, at that point, hopefully you can trust the person as long as there hasn't been any issues leading up to that. We're kind of flying through this. Do you guys have any questions so far? Or want us to go back to anything?
What's up, y'all?
Ryan, what up?
Maybe the wrap exit to a renter. I think we touched more about.
Yeah. We could talk on that a little bit. So when you do the rento, what's really nice about that, especially like early in the game, is one, you can get in the deal with nothing out of pocket, but two, all the repairs are pushed on them. And if they neglect any of those repairs, keeping up with it, they're automatically in default. And now you have a house with no obligation to sell it to them down the road. So that's kind of the nice part.
You employ that strategy where there's like more landlord friendly places. Mm-hmm. I would imagine so.
Yeah. What I'll say this too, though. There's so many, like, if you just get creative, man, there's so many ways to be protected in this game. So like, say you had like a normal tenant and a big issue came up. We're like, damn, the furnace is shot. It's going to be $8,000. Then just wrap the deal if you don't want to do that repair. And then boom, they took care of it. You're in it for nothing out of pocket again. And you get out of the jam, I guess. So the wrap's a great way to get into a deal and avoid repairs, but it's also like, it's a good fallback. Like if you're going to start picking up rentals and you don't have any money, that's a great strategy to, like, if worst case scenario happens, like, dude, we need a new roof or whatever, something crazy happened, you could always fall back on a wrap and then kind of get yourself out of that jam. All right, we're flying through this. The last thing I was going to touch on briefly was the whole Section 8 piece. I know some of you guys are interested in that. I've only had one Section 8 property, and I inherited it with the Section 8 tenant in there. And I would say, looking back, I would have done everything Section 8 for the type of real estate I was owning. The reason for that is because, like I told you guys, most of the people I was renting to, middle class and lower middle class, that's just like most of America, right? And so people are just struggling financially. And so, like, the nice part about Section 8 is, one, there's a long list, depending on the market, of people looking to get into housing. But then two, you're not really chasing people down for money. Sometimes you will, though. I will say the one Section 8 door that I did have, she literally only had to pay $100. Section 8 literally covered the rest, and she could never come up with that $100, $25 a week. Couldn't even come up with that. But I was okay with that because I'm like, Section 8 is literally covering everything. whatever. I'll keep asking for the 100, but I mean, let's face it, $100, that's not going to change anybody's life. So it wasn't really a big deal. So if you could find somebody where Section 8 is covering the vast majority of it, if not all of it, that's going to be the ideal type of person. And also, don't take it the wrong way, but I probably avoid renting to people with kids too. Kids just beat stuff up. That's just the reality of it. So I guess that's optional. Just my
Welcome
opinion.
to my world.
Yeah, Sean, you know. How many kids do you have?
7.
Yeah, you know. I got a 2-year-old and she's tearing stuff up. So yeah, I mean, you know, ideally with the Section 8, you know, somebody maybe that's on disability, they're elderly, you know, that's going to be like a long-term tenant and just ideal. So yeah, looking back, if you're in that middle class, lower middle class type of market, if you will, if that's kind of what the house is calling for, I would just look to do Section 8. And I think we're coming close to some rough times here in the country, and so there's nothing that's going to be more secure than that.
To touch on that Section 8 thing, because I was doing a lot of Section 8 acquisitions, I would say if you guys are going to look for Section 8, at least look for like let's say Atlanta, right? Atlanta has a lot of, like, a small number of zip codes where they'll pay you up to $3K, I think, or $3,200 for, I want to say, a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom. So if you find something in like those kind of area codes, when you pull up like the HUD user gov site, you know, because they'll give you it by a zip code. So look at the zip codes and see if they're giving a Section 8 for 3 and 4 bedrooms. And if you're gonna follow for that Section 8, then at least look for 3 or 4 bedrooms. Don't really waste time with the ones. You at least got to start with the 3.
Yeah.
You're also going to
Yeah,
need to
some
make
area codes are paying. I think I saw one for like, I want to say $3,500 for a 4-bedroom, and like $28 for a 3.
Yeah, they're up there. What do you say, Sean?
I was going to say that when you go to do Section 8, you want to make sure that, yes, you check the HUD user site to make sure that you're going to get the proper SAFMRs, but you're not actually shopping for a Section 8 property. You're actually looking for a property to make Section 8. And that way you can use those vouchers that they have on file to fill the Section 8 property.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. Trying to think if there's anything we're missing here.
Like when I tell my Section 8, I got like a couple, actually 4 Section 8 now. I haven't preferred it in NOLA. I've been trying to get out of the Section 8, to be honest, but just for like what you said, like the tenant, the way I rent my Section 8 places, I'd be like, look, this apartment, they got Section 8 that'll cover you up to $1,300 a month. You only have to come up with $500 a month, and that usually sells them because these apartments are like 3 bedrooms, and you know, NOLA, you only get 13, but then they can rent for 18 to $2,000, so people expect to pay it around that. And then so when they come to 500, it's kind of like what you said, where when they think that the Section 8's covered, they don't really want to come up with that extra part, you know, the extra money at the end of the month. They're not super incentivized. But I try to make it really clear up front. That's why I kind of oversell my Section 8 things to make it like, look, you got $1,300 covered by the federal guarantee. You know, you just come up with like $300-400 depending on what it is. $500 what I usually say, and that usually rents pretty. That sells them. You know, typically that kind of structure. And it does. You do have to keep up with the code, and you do want to be, if you want people in line to get your places, you want to be registered with your whatever public housing authority you got. I know we got like NORA. It's like New Orleans Housing Authority, but then they'll put you as a Section 8 landlord. They'll send inspectors there. They do their checkups. You got to have like fire alarms, locks, windows, all that stuff. But if the checklist checks out, then yeah, you get guaranteed money every month from the government.
Hey, you're out there in New Orleans. I got a duplex that I think it's a 4-plex. I kind of passed on it, but if you want to work it, just toss me a couple of bands if you can get it closed. I think that they're open to our financing.
Which part of NOLA?
Bro, I worked it there for a hot minute. I don't exactly know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can shoot it to me on Discord. I'll check it out.
I think I'm already in the general chat. Just pay me. It's J2. It's J2 Invest. Black icon.
All right, yeah, it's a duplex. Is it duplex or quad? Do you know?
I think it's a quad. I'm pretty. Yeah, it was a
Quad?
quad. It wasn't a duplex. It was a quad.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm looking at that spot. I got like 14 places right now that are in line to get structured, like finance structured right now, and I can add that to the list.
I have that one, and I had another couple ones I was working on. But then there's also like this big apartment building I was working on too. But it was just me. If I did take it over, and they want to stay on insurance, and my insurance would just be hiked up the rent. I mean, hiked up to wazoo, like 14 bands. Like that's crazy.
That's why you want to get Section 8 in that area for sure.
Yeah, I'll shoot you over what I got. Just message me,
Yeah,
your email or whatever, and then I'll shoot you what I got.
I can put it in the chat right now. Or you just hit me up on
No,
Discord.
it's just easier in Discord because
Yeah. I'll ping you in general chat. What is it, Jason?
J2 Invest.
J2 Invest. Oh, I got you, bro. Awesome.
Sweet. The other thing too to add to that too, just perspective here. So like with where we're at in the economy today, I would look to either rent Section 8 or B class, nothing in the middle, no C. The reason for that is because when the market, if you got B class properties, right? When the market comes down, the A people are going to fall into the B category, but B is going to fall into C, which is basically no money. They're not going to be able to pay that. Right, so just keep that in mind. Today's economy, I'd either go B or play, C and D, but rent that to Section 8.
Have you thought about doing commercial repurposing?
No.
Or have you done that?
Nope. Nope.
Depends on what commercial you're talking about, but I've done Class D commercial where you have no bathrooms, like storage units, all the way to Class A where you have bathrooms, obviously, and stuff. Class P, what he's talking about is like a bathroom per living space, which is good. I mean, what kind of commercial repurposing are you talking about?
I am thinking more like offices or studios or one bedrooms and like
Class
motels
A.
and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
hotel conversions.
Hotel conversions?
Yeah, I had a lot of those come across my desk in terms of hotel conversions.
Which market?
This was in Texas.
Texas?
Yeah,
Bro, which part of Texas?
I don't know, and my person that sent it to me, she dropped off the map, but I can look through my
I
emails.
got a ton there as well.
So what?
Yeah.
I said I got a ton of commercial over there as well.
Oh, got you.
Class A, or
All over the place.
is it like warehouses or is it like hotel
I
conversions?
got some warehouses, some offices, but mostly apartment complex and stuff like that.
If you have a list of commercial, bro, I'll check it out for you. You can put it in there.
Yeah, connect in the chat.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Anybody, I guess, have any other questions before we? I guess like any general questions on like anything real estate related before we start doing deals.
What was that website for checking their tenant background and credit check?
HUDuser.gov. I'll put it in the
HUDuser.gov.
chat. Yeah.
Oh, that's to check anybody's background and credit score.
Oh, background and credit score. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the FMRs. My bad.
Okay.
That would be, you could use Turbo Tenant or the Zillow Rent Manager. They'll both do that.
Oh wow, Zillow Rent Manager.
Mm-hmm. I would
They do
check
it
that
free?
out, man. I've been contemplating doing that one. No, it's not free. I don't think it is. Yep.
If you're trying to boost their credit expert's pretty good. If you get into all that, but most of the people that boost credit, you just open accounts. You show them how to open an account with Experian. You show them how to open an account with TransUnion. All the credit bureaus. And once they open accounts there, most people I deal with that have bad credit, they have a bunch of like things on it, like marks, and stuff like that. Open accounts with the individual credit bureaus. You most likely get them expedited off of there ASAP, and instead of going to like a third party. But Credit Expert is like one of the best third parties for like managing all the credit. But if you want to boost your tenant's credit, I suggest just open an account, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and then once they have all those accounts open, you dispute everything that they have on there, and you'll clean up all the credit, all of the agency stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to boost it. I just want to check to see what the credit score is.
And there's like letters you can send to dispute major stuff and boost your credit.
Well,
And-
he's just talking about checking somebody's tenant,
Oh, just checking the
somebody's
credit.
credit. Yeah, tenant wise.
And that credit repair program thing, positive report, that thing really helps tenants. I've seen people boost their credit like 50, 60 points in like less than a year. And and like I said, if they miss a payment, it's only positive reporting. So if they miss something, it doesn't go negative, which is really good. Worked out for a lot of people. If you're trying to really climb their FICO or whatever, you know, if you're working with them that directly, obviously. But
That would have been helpful for me 6 months ago.
yeah, bro, it makes a difference when you're trying to leverage money. You know, it makes a little bit of difference. Like Fannie Mae's offered some really great rates. I don't know if you've seen their 5% program. They're letting you do.
It's the new one that they did. The was Fannie Mae 80 something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they basically let you do up to $1 million multifamily, which you can do 4 units, and they'll let you at 5% down. Means you'll get into $1 million multiplex for $50K. Really good, and they'll let you no cap. Like there's no cap on it. I think actually they put a cap at 10 mortgages. You gotta look into that. But basically, you get multiple buildings in succession, and if you have 75% of the rents covered for 12 months, and then appreciates 5%, if that market appreciates 5% in that year, they'll give you a whole nother building at that same. They'll let you get another one, so you can just stack. But you have to make sure that you have 75% of the overall building rents covered. And then in a market that's appreciating 5%, and that will really let you stack multifamilies if you're going into that. You can leverage that credit. I know a couple people doing that right now. I mean, I'm still in the market for any.
You got a link on that so I can read up on more of that?
Yeah, bro. It's just the Fannie Mae multifamily program. I'll look it up. I'll send it to you. So if you're looking out for multiplexes, just look in that $1 million range. You only need 50K down to 5%. This is assuming you have good credit. You're saying that you're trying to boost your credit.
I was 6 months ago. My credit score 6 months ago was 620. My credit score now is 725, I think, on average.
You'll be good. You'll be good with 725. So, yeah, bro. I mean, you can look into it. I'll actually put it in the chat.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you see that, Eric, about that, how to do a short sale? How do you work that?
We could talk about that. With the whole short sale piece, is it the wholesale or sub 2?
That I have no clue. I didn't call on it. I messaged you this morning about it. I didn't know. I didn't call on it because I wanted to know what I needed to do to get. And we ran the numbers, and
Rick, I would just pass because there's going to be quite a few hoops to jump through to wholesale that.
It's going to be a nightmare. Okay.
It's not going to be easy, so I would personally pass on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ryan and Grant, are you guys here?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Awesome. Guys, just a reminder too. I know some of you guys are more interested in like working with somebody to get going and actually get into the game. So Ryan and Grant, they've been in the group, I think both of you guys like a year plus, right? Something like that. A while. And so I'm working closely with them, building their company up. There's, I think you guys are a full team of 13, 14 at this point, something like that. So if anybody's interested in kind of like fast tracking, you guys should connect with Ryan and Grant. They're bringing people onto their team on the Yak side. And it's probably the fastest way to start making money at this, my personal opinion. Grant and Ryan, do you guys have like anything you guys want to share or add to that?
Yeah. So go ahead, Ryan.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, I know y'all seen Blazing here a little bit. He's on the team too. He's crushing it. Right now we got like 6 or 7 contracts that we're dispoing, and most of the guys on the team, they just started, a week and a half-ish ago, and we kind of go through all the steps that work for us and kind of transfer that knowledge to whoever joins the team, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, we've had people, that have been there for a little while, and then we did just have a new group that started a couple weeks ago. week and a half
Later
ago.
to do.
And you know, most of them, they knew a little bit about it, like you guys, but you know, didn't have the most knowledge about it. And out of that new group, we got 5 contracts yesterday. So, and I've only been here for a week and a half. So, you know, we're looking for people that want to keep building it up. You know, we've taken a couple people from Eric's community, and they've been killing it. So, if any of y'all want to join in, yeah, definitely hit us up. We're on Discord. Or I think we'll throw our phone numbers in the chat. Let us know.
It's a good, solid opportunity, guys. So anybody interested, shoot him a text. Ryan put his phone number in, Swift Offers. So hit him up. Tom's asking for your Discord grant. I don't know if you want to put your number.
Yeah, I'll. It should just be my name. I'll put that in there. Let me check.
All right. Sweet. All right, let's do some deals, guys. Dom, are you still here? You with us?
Yeah, what's up, Eric? I'm here.
All righty. So I started to comp this out a little bit. I'm thinking if you could stretch it to maybe, if we're lucky, let me just look. Let me see when this thing was built.
Yeah, what was the play here? Because you said that the sub 2 wouldn't work with the passing of somebody.
This isn't
right?
The subject home it needs way too much work. So that's kind of the issue. So it would have to be a wholesale deal. So like if the ARV was 255.7, say you put 60 into it, we're actually going to be lower. We'd have to be at like 110. I think it's going to be too tight on this one. If you wanted to, Dom, I could shoot you the address, and then if you wanted to hop on Terrell's Zoom and get his opinion, but one, we have like limited buyers, and two, I'm already thinking the numbers are going to be too tight. Possibly too tight.
Okay, yeah, I'll get Terrell's opinion on it, see what he says.
He might say we could do something, but I think it's going to be a swing.
Okay.
How's your pipeline looking though? Are we generating some leads?
A little bit. You know, I'm still debating if I should stay in my state, which is Connecticut. Things are super expensive up here, and I don't know if it's the best. If it's the best state, because once things hit the market, they get swooped up really quick. I'm thinking about just going after pre-foreclosures. I think that might be the play for me.
You should I think Andrew McCarthy, he's up by you. You should connect with him. He's building a whole dude, he's killing it. He's been in the group a while, and I think he's in your market.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Andrew. I'm trying to pull his contact. Here, I'm gonna DM it to you in the chat. Just shoot him a text or call him. Be like, "Yo, Eric, give me your number." He said I should connect with you wholesale. I think we're in the same market. He's super cool, though. You'll like him.
Okay, sounds good.
Which town in Connecticut, bro?
I'm in Southbury.
Okay.
Kind of close to Danbury, like 20 minutes away.
Danbury, yep. It's a decent spot, bro.
Yeah, like I was telling you the other day, if you need my help, I can drive anywhere in the state. Like, it's a small state, so drives are easy. Or I could check the property out for you, walk it real quick. Just let me know.
Sweet, man. That's awesome. You're trying to wholesale in there?
Yeah, I'm doing wholesale first. I think the sub 2 and the creative is going to take a while to learn, but yeah, I'm looking to do wholesale first.
Yeah, I'm just doing the fix and flip in that kind of market. I'm looking for fix and flips. Typically, like right now, my main spot, if I was doing anything in Connecticut, would probably be Hartford. I'd start with Hartford. You know where that's at?
Yeah, so that's the capital. Yeah, it's a good market because there's a lot of like hospitals and people are willing to pay higher rent over there. So that's a market that's definitely growing. You know, because people from New York, they're slowly coming up. Well, I mean, due to COVID, they were slowly coming up to Connecticut because it was quieter. You know, prices weren't so crazy up here, and I think they'll eventually reach Hartford. Like that's where the jobs are at. You know.
Definitely, that market is where I'd fix and flip because the appreciation pretty much outpaces it almost outpaces like just regular inflation.
Mhm.
So, like if you just take a year to flip something, usually the appreciation on a project over there will outpace the actual the cost of it. Meaning it's like a positive cash flow situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a growing market. You're going to do well there for sure.
Yeah, you guys share contact info. You guys should connect.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
Dom.
Yeah, Dom.
Sweet man. I think just message me on Discord.
All right, sounds good, Mike.
And I hit you, Dom. You got Andrew's number in the chat too. I just DM'd that to you.
I'll drop my number too, bro. I'm gonna drop in the chat.
Right.
Cool. Let's make it happen.
It's 857-2420, 857.
Melanie, what's up with this one?
I'm wondering if this was like even like worth a wholesale deal. So I talked to the agent today. She said one that she listed it way high because she said the price is like she just wanted to overlist it, so she admitted to that. But she said like there's a leaking roof. There's like she said she didn't put any inside pictures because it hasn't been like cleaned out yet. The ARV, I think I saw it around 330, but I just didn't know if this would be even worth like a wholesale deal.
I think it could be. It seems somewhat cheap.
Yeah, but she said she's like I listed it way too high. She's like there's a lot of room with the price. Like she said that straight off the bat.
Do we know what's wrong with it? Like how rough it is?
She just said it's like she's been living in there for like 14 years, no updates. She just got the tenant just got a house with inheritance. Like she just inherited another house. So she's in the midst of cleaning everything out of this house, and the roof is leaking. The plumbing needs work. Hold on, I wrote down something else, I think.
I feel like I've seen this house a couple of years back too.
Yeah, she said the lady has been in there for so long. Oh, and she said it won't pass inspection right now. And because she was like, it might be just like a tear down, but I don't know.
That's right up her alley. All right, let's see. What were you thinking the ARV was on this one?
I was at like 330. I didn't see that many comps that were like exactly like it, but I think I saw one for sale for 330 that was kind of similar. But I don't know if I'm spot on or not.
You might be. No photos on this guy.
Yeah, I could only see the outside of a lot of them. The only ones I could see inside pictures were the for sale.
What you could do too, so like this one,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you just take the address and then we throw it in on Google and you hit the realtor.com link, yeah, here we go. Then you can see the photos.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this. Fully updated.
Mm-hmm.
This house was mint. All right, so they got 332 a little over a year ago, so it's probably worth a little bit more today. Not a whole lot.
Okay.
Let's see if there's anything higher. Nah, I think you're pretty on the money. All right, so let's take a 330. And then how much were you thinking in repairs?
I think it's going to be a lot because it's a new roof, plumbing. I'm not really good at guessing that. I'm definitely probably over 60.
Yeah.
And I think the inside needs a lot of work, like renovating wise.
Let's call it.
It's a nice lot though.
80 takes us to 250.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I did that right. 330 times 0.7. Yeah, no, I did that wrong. 80. We're at like 140, 150 for a cash offer.
Yeah. What do you think I should go in at? Since she said that she's really flexible in the price.
I'd say like 140 is what I think I would try and get it out.
Okay.
Are you comfortable making the offer on this one?
Maybe I can try. I'm not opposed to trying.
What I was going to say is if you are, then I'll call now, not as your partner, with a lower offer, and then it'll make your offer look a little bit better.
Yeah, that's actually great. I can make the offer myself.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
I'll try for maybe like 130, and then if I'm sensing like we might be able to get it, then maybe I'll actually just try and get it, and
okay.
Then you got it.
She answered really quick earlier.
I like you're doing the Zillow one day though. This is like exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, I've been on it for this market and then Allentown like every morning. So
Perfect. Getting close to getting a deal.
trying my hardest.
Yeah, this would be a good one.
Hello, you've reached
Try her again. Yeah, if not though, like 140, 150 is what you can lock it up at.
I could text her too, so I can only shoot her a text and see if she's busy later.
Okay.
Hello, you've reached
Try her one more time. Yeah, I don't think we got her.
That's
what,
okay. I
what
can
happened
text her.
to with the condo? The one we looked at earlier?
Somebody went under contract with it before we could even get an offer in.
Oh no! What
Yeah, it
price
was like the
did we
next
get it
day.
at?
It says pending for still the same price, 74. So I'm not sure. And then the agent said that it was under contract, but they wouldn't tell me how much.
I would keep it in the follow-ups though.
Yeah, it's in my favorite.
There's a lot of wholesalers these days, so it could be one, and then maybe they back out. So, alrighty, not a big deal. Keep me posted on this one then, because I think you got a pretty good shot here. Alrighty, Alex, what's up with this one?
I was trying to get some comps for that, and because he said he was going to do seller finance, but I just want to kind of wholesale it. But it's such a small house. Says it needs AC and a couple things. I was thinking maybe 40,000 in rehab, but it's hard to comp that out because it's
okay.
Anything in the area.
Are you out this way?
Yeah, I'm like 45 minutes out that way. I know, about everywhere within 2 hours out.
This could be possibly, I don't know anything about the market, but just from what I'm seeing, it's such a small town, it seems like. So this could potentially be a tough deal to find a buyer for.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only downside.
Yeah, everybody usually drives 30 minutes into town to Wilmington and stuff like that, where I live.
Okay.
The one I sent you before that, that's the lady that you called on TikTok Live yesterday, and the Alana lady, and I sent her an email, and she never got back to me about buying the sub 2.
Shoot her a text and just be like, "Hey, I'm Eric's partner. I shot you an email with all the details for blank property. Did you get a chance to look at it?" And then ping me in the general chat whatever she responds to that text.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a tough one to comp. There's not a whole lot going on. Let's see if we can find something updated. What was kind of your guess? The mid ones, or were you higher?
No, I was thinking 130. It's just so hard to find anything that's 630 square foot. But,
yeah, it is small.
I just saw it kind of caught my eye because he said owners open to financing and stuff like that, so he might be open to just trying to get rid of it for cheap. Says he bought it for let's see, it sold in 2015 for $12,000.
I think you're at that 130, maybe 140 fully updated. Because you got a 138, it sold a little over a year ago. It's a hair bigger, but this is already worth more, probably closer to 150 today. So yeah, 130 is probably a safe bet. 140, I think there's a shot. And then as far as updates goes, I think you're saying what, the HVAC is what it needs. Anything else?
Yeah, some of it needs to be finished. It says HVAC system, refinished bathroom, kitchen cabinets, and vinyl on the back of the house.
All right. It's so small. I don't think it's going to cost more than 30.
No, okay. I was thinking 40, but I wasn't real sure because it was so small.
If we go 130.7, 30 in updates, you're probably at like 55,000 for cash. Did they ever give you any terms with the seller finance down here?
No, I haven't. I've been at work. I just been kind of scrolling on my breaks, looking at it, and I was going to call them later today. I was just trying to get a number that made sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd explore it. I mean, tell them, like, maybe just ask first what the terms are for the seller finance, and then I could look that over with you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say, what did I just tell you, 50, 55?
Yeah.
Yeah, right up in there for cash, which you might have a shot at. It's been on the market forever.
Okay. I'll give him.
Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know what he says to that.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Might be something there. Alrighty. All right, Rick, you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on? You get this house on the 21st?
Yep. These are two off markets. They're actually in Tampa. And we were, kind of going back and forth about it. And I'm not sure if we're running these numbers correct because we were at like 130, 140, and she said the lowest they'll go is 160 on that one. And then now she just
I spoke to them, right?
No, not this one. This was an off market. I don't think you've seen these. Did you see these?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. They're both 2 bedrooms, I think. But the one needs a full rehab, and I think it was like at 2 something. So we're trying to, you know what I mean, pin down a good number. I told her, let's just roll with the 160. So I don't know if that's right. So I was just, you know what I mean? Can I ask you before I go?
Yeah, I'm with you. What were you kind of thinking ARV was?
I thought Jerry said like 330.
You have a 379. I don't know if it was the new build. Let me check. Built in 22. Yeah, you're probably. Let me just try and hone in on it. But yeah, you might be on the money. One right across the street for 470. This has to be old too. Man, I can't believe they got that much. Hmm. 485, another new build. Yeah, I think you are going to be like in the low 3s somewhere.
Would you do the 160? I think it was the 2102.
How much work did it need?
The one needs a full workup, she said.
So like something like this is good for everybody to see. So something like this can be somewhat of a tough sale because if somebody's going to buy this as a fix and flip, you're right on the corner, like 2 major roads, and you don't have a driveway. So it makes it a little difficult to sell to like a retail buyer, like a family that's going to move into it because it's like, all right, we have no yard, we don't really got a driveway, we're on 2 busy streets. So for the flipper, it kind of makes it a tough sale. Little tricky. Less people will be interested in it, if that makes sense. All right, so let's roll with the 330. Let's go 0.7, takes you to 230. And then what was your guess on rehab?
Which one are you on that first one? Because there was one that had just a light rehab. And I don't know. Are you looking at the yellow house with the pillars in the front?
The blue one. Mm-hmm.
That one I think needs a full workup. I think it was like 50,000, 60,000, something like that.
Yeah, I think you could easily, just from what because you're probably going to do all the windows too. Yeah, at least that. Let's go 65 on it. Could be higher though. takes you to 166 before a fee. I would try and get them at like 140, 150.
Yeah, and I think that's where, because she said, "Are you okay with the 160?" And then she's saying in here, "Okay, let me know so we can both contracts at the same time." There again, I know better. We'll split them. Just clarify 2102. You okay with 160? So the 2102, she's at 160.
What about the 2805?
The 2805. We didn't submit a. I don't think we submitted one on that one because we were trying to just work through this first one.
Yeah, 140, 150 is where we want to be at.
On the 2102.
On 2805, this blue house.
All right. Because I think she was asking 215 on that one.
What? I don't know. Ask for some photos of the inside if that's the case.
I do got pictures of it.
Text them to me then. I'll check them out.
Okay. All right. I'll get all that.
Who's
too many?
Who's this contact, Rick?
This is a realtor. She sent me like she's sending me some off-market stuff that she's got.
I like it. Get her opinion then. Like, what do you think it's worth all fixed up? We're thinking like 330.
Okay. Let me. I'll send all those pictures over I got. And that blue property, there's a whole lot in the back that comes with it. It's like on 21st Street. She said you could knock that fence down back there and add on to the house or do whatever.
Nah, I don't think anybody's going to want to do that.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what she was. I'm just realizing, man. All right, let me find those pictures and I'll send them to you. Okay.
All righty.
All right, thanks.
Alex, I see your question in the chat. That was Blaze. Blaze, you still here? He might have popped out or is on a call. You can find him in the Discord. It's just at Blaze. I think it's his Discord handle. Alrighty. Let's keep working through these deals. We'll do round one, guys, and then we'll probably have enough time for round two. Jason, what's up with this one? Town Lake Boulevard. This was TikTok, right?
That's the one I told you I found earlier. Couldn't get a hold of the agent. Called a couple times.
Yeah, I've called on this one.
Oh, you have?
This was TikTok, I think, literally today or yesterday.
Oh, I don't know. That's the one I said I found one, and you said save it for whatever.
Alrighty, that's fine then. I think I didn't hand this deal out, so I guess nobody claimed it. So let's
give Amanda a call.
I don't know if I spoke to her today or yesterday though. Let me see if I can find her number in my Google Voice. Hold on.
She pops up over there.
What's up?
Said she pops up over there. The last four is 9769.
She texted me this afternoon, literally just a couple minutes ago.
Gotcha.
I haven't forgotten about you. I'm heading to the office now, and we'll give you a call when I get there. All right, so let's look out for that, and then keep me posted. Like if we get to the end of the Zoom and we don't get her, then I would say shoot her a text. But I think they were open to it, and she was going to speak to her seller about it. I think that's kind of where we left off. Alrighty. Ricky, you got a question? Maybe you stepped away. Melanie, you have a question? Ricky, there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, so I have a property. I've been working this deal for a while, man. And there was basically an heir that we thought passed away, but they think they're still alive. He's mentally disabled. The family lost track of him maybe 10, 15 years ago. I was just wondering if you have any insight on, tracking somebody mentally disabled down. I was advised to go to the probate court and see if anybody has any type of guardianship.
Wait, so run me the situation. Like, so you came across a house, and
Right.
who have you been in contact with so far?
So I'm in contact with all the heirs. Everybody is on board, but one of the heirs. So it's like 6 heirs. One of them is mentally disabled, and everybody's on board, but it's just a matter of finding this one guy. And we couldn't find an obituary on him, so we believe he might be alive, but the family lost touch with him like a decade and a half ago.
Dang.
Yeah, and he's mentally disabled, and I was advised to check the probate court because they knew that he was in the area, but they didn't know the actual like city or like not the city, but property address. So I checked here, and the probate court, they said they have no records of this man. So I'm just wondering if you might have any inside ideas or anything like that.
That's a tough situation. I've been on a manhunt once, and the guy was in Japan, but we had a contact. Most of the time, it's like the relatives that know him,
right?
So it's a little tough.
Yeah, especially because he's mentally disabled. Like he's basically been dependent on people since he was a child. Like he always needed help, using the bathroom and stuff. So I don't think he has his own cell phone or anything like that. So that's really what complicates things here. My title company said maybe we could just try probate and see what the court says, but even then, it's really just a gamble.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if I can't remember if I had a situation similar to that where we just absolutely cannot find somebody. I would imagine though there's some process through that probate to kind of like remove that person from the picture. Like we can't.
Right.
And I think maybe it comes down to. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of something else where like it's a post in the mail or something like that. I don't think that's it though. I think that's a different situation.
Usually running an ad, bro. They usually run an ad, and they give them like 30 to 45 days. Like in Louisiana, or like up here, like they'll give them like a month and a half to respond to the ad. I don't know what real estate attorney you got. In Mass, you're required to use a real estate attorney. In Louisiana, you don't have to, but they run an ad, and if they can't find him, they do it, and then you'll probably find out if he has a POA. A power of attorney, you'll find out, deal with them directly, or if
that's why I went to the probate court to see if anybody filed anything, and they couldn't find anything.
Yeah. So, and then the good attorney, if you find one, they'll there's like a rule probably in your state. What state is this?
Georgia.
Georgia. All right. Well, I don't know Georgia specific, but I know in Louisiana it's like 45 days. They have to run ads like in the papers and stuff, and if nobody responds within that time, then the court usually grants you the
right. Yeah, here it's 4 weeks, so it's pretty similar to.
There you go. Yeah, 30 days. Yep.
Yeah, originally, dude, we avoided probate because we didn't want to be twiddling our thumbs for too long, but because the probate process here averages like 2 months. But I've been working this deal since I want to say April, so it really doesn't matter at this point.
Is there a will, Ricky?
But even then, I was told. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is there a will in place?
No, there's no will in place, but all the heirs are on board. All the hard stuff has been handled. It's really just a matter of getting a hold of this one guy who's mentally disabled.
I think once you get the probate attorney involved, they'll navigate that whole situation.
Right. Yeah. Because we were trying to avoid it, but it'd be easier that way, anyways. Because we don't know if this guy's dead or alive. We couldn't find an obituary, but it's hard to track down a 58-year-old mentally disabled guy when nobody knows where he is. Like it's hard, and I don't know. The group homes he's been in aren't even legit. It's just like somebody who likes taking care of like sick people. So it's like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Yeah. But So are we in agreement? We think that probate would probably be the cleanest way to do this.
Yeah, just get that going and they'll navigate all that.
Okay. Let's just say this was a different situation, and just out of curiosity, is there any other ideas you might have as far as tracking somebody like that down, or is it usually just his relatives are probably a good first option?
If anybody else has an opinion too, you guys could chime in. But I think somebody that is disabled and can't be on their own like that, it just makes it a lot harder because they no social media, no phone, like you're saying. So that makes it really, really tricky.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it's like you're playing detective, right? So it's like, where was the last address they were at, and try and find somebody that was connected to that, and then the next one, and the next one, to finally get to like where they're at today. But even then, it's like they don't even have a phone number. So, I mean, I guess if you're local, you could show up in person. But
yeah,
I think that Tom's saying hire a private investigator.
Yeah,
I don't know if you'd want to go to that extent, but
I mean, everybody's on board. Like, it probably would be cleaner to just do it through probate and pay them whatever they want.
Yeah, what you could do. So, like, wait. So, I got a couple ideas for you. What's the play on the probate? Like, you were gonna out of pocket that money?
Well, I believe I got this from you, where you said just find an attorney that's willing to get paid at close.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was gonna tell you. So, hey man, I'm gonna start doing these probates. I got one right now. I'm gonna be buying their home. I'll pay you a little more than what you normally charge if you could, walk us through it. And if you make a few phone calls, you'll get somebody that'll do it.
Is there anything you use to kind of gauge and bet a probate attorney on a decent one versus a terrible one? Because I don't imagine they're too separate on the price.
Not really. To be honest, we just got lucky with the first guy. He was he specializes in probates, but our title company, she was like working in their office too, so it was like automatic connect.
Sweet.
I think it's just a lot of paperwork, a lot of waiting. It's a long game, the whole probate piece, or it can be. So,
right.
I don't know. I feel like whoever is down to do it, just roll with them.
Do these guys tend to bill by the hour? Like, what should I expect to pay so I don't get screwed? Because they pretty much pay based off of how they're feeling that day, or they bill you.
Well, no, I would word. So, like, what I would do is contract the house with all of the current heirs. So get that contract locked in, but you're going to put a couple clauses in. So one would be a contingency that if probate closes, then you close out your deal within 30 days of that, something like that. But I would also word in there that that if probate does not get completed and the sale doesn't take place for whatever reason, they're the ones on the hook to pay those attorney fees. So you can't get jammed up with some bill.
Right. What I was asking also was, what do you see these probate guys tend to charge on average, so I'm not getting, taken to the cleaners?
It depends how long it takes. You got a lot of errors, and it's kind of a messy situation. My guess would be 2,000 to 3,000.
Okay.
Could potentially be more, but again, I'd put that on the sellers.
Put it on his
I'm
tab.
seeing 400. Yeah. I know. I got I'm seeing like
400 an hour. I've seen 700 an hour. But they
400 an hour. I've seen 700 an hour. But they just assign it to a paralegal, and so you can do all the paralegal work yourself.
Right.
It's way cheaper, bro. I mean, easier. And in your situation, I would just go straight to the probate court. They'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I don't know if I really need a probate attorney because I'm already in contact with all the heirs. Like, everybody's on deck. Like, it's just a matter of
telling you, it's a mess. Probate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I even did exactly what Mike's saying, and it just turns into a nightmare.
This has been a nightmare that hasn't ended since the beginning.
Yeah, like put that in the attorney's hands, and then like you'll just be chilling at that point.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for giving me all this insight, man. Thank you.
Sure,
yeah, for sure. Keep us posted, Ricky. Let me know if you find him.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All righty.
Melody, you have a question?
Yeah, she called me. Like, I texted her and she told me to call her, so I just called the agent. And I told her, basically, like, I was thinking around 140, and she was super receptive to it. told me to like make an official offer. And also we were talking for a minute. She said that the lady's like super overwhelmed, like doesn't really want to clean it out. So if I include that in my offer, it could be like enticing to her because she doesn't have the money to hire anyone to clean it out.
Perfect.
And she said like there's a bunch of like art. She's an artist, so there's a bunch of like art stuff in there. So I should just still stay at 140 with that.
Yeah, I'd say at the 140.
Okay, and she also told me to put in like the offer, like how much I would like to put in escrow and how long I would like the inspection to be. So I don't know if you have advice for me.
Yeah, I'll put just like all the details in the chat. Did we ask her if she could represent us?
Yes, and she said yes.
Beautiful. All right, you could literally like text this, or email it, however she wants.
Okay, cool.
We said 140. Let me just type this out for you. Yeah, that's it. You could literally just text her all that.
Okay. And
there we go.
And in regards to like a cash buyer, do you know anybody that I can get in contact with for that?
Yeah, I got plenty of buyers over there. I would say if you had like a texting service, I'd just give you my buyers list. I don't really care. That's like for any of you guys in my market. I'll just give you the buyers list. So you could do that. You would just have to get like some texting service like E-Z texting. Easy.
Okay.
That's a platform. You could upload the whole list and then blast the deal out, and I could help you with that.
Okay.
But obviously this is going to cost money. Or if you're open to doing like a joint venture, Terrell, he could bring you a buyer too.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, I'll give you my buyers list, or you can have Terrell do it.
Okay, Terrell has Zoom tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what he says. I can show him the deal and see what he says, and then go from there.
All right, sweet. Keep me posted. That could be the first payday. That'd be awesome.
Right. Thank you.
Sure. Anthony, you got your hand up? You got a question?
Yeah, just kind of like a broad question. What, like when you're calling for creative financing, what kind of group of individuals are more likely to work with you? Like, do you have more luck with landlords or agents where they kind of explain to a normal homeowner how everything works, or what kind of have you had more luck with? 'Cause I've been calling around for like the past few months now, and I've tried all different types of group of people, and I'm just not having luck. I found a bunch of buyers that were all solid and vetted out and everything. I just trying to get someone to hear me out about seller finance or creative finance hasn't been really.
What's kind of been your go-to for the source of leads?
I've tried Zillow to find agents to work with, or properties that have been listed for quite a while. I've tried using stuff like PropStream, PropWire. I've came across some people who are interested. They just don't want to go through with it in the end, no matter like how I shape up the deal and stuff. So I'm just, I don't know, kind of at a loss now which direction to go to, what targeted demographic to target. Because right now, all I need is a deal to lock down, and I'm pretty much golden from there. Because like I said, I've got a good solid buyer list. I got in multiple states and multiple areas and stuff. It's just getting that first
You're
lead.
looking for creative finance, not wholesale?
I have buyers for wholesale. I'm trying to do both, but I'm kind of trying to target creative finance.
Okay.
Just because I want to get into having my own rentals and stuff like that, and
definitely
getting a good source of income going. Because currently I'm working real estate, or not real estate, working construction and juggling all that, and with my kid who just turned one this year and whatnot. And it's just been hectic. So
I get it, man. All right, so I'll give you a couple things you could do. Have you tried any of the Zillow keywords?
yeah, I was actually back in the group quite a while ago when Blaze helped you find a couple of the keyword searches and stuff like that, and I've used that quite often.
Which one have you played with?
I'm trying to think back to the list I have because it's been honestly a minute since I've been on Zillow.
I'll point them out. There's a lot I'm going to show you, but one like you can try and be consistent with the keywords. So the seller finance, seller financing, owner finance, rent to own, lease option. Like I'd play all of these if you could. Try and get in contact with these people. The other thing you could do is like if you're on Zillow, you could flip it just to like the for rent and start ripping these people too. Hey, I see you got the house listed for rent. Not really interested in renting it. I wanted to see if you guys would do like a rent to own or a seller finance on it. If you guys would be open to selling it, that could be a play too. I've generated a few leads like that. The biggest go-to though, like the way I've accumulated pretty much almost everything I've ever bought was just from like data, but not never like specifically targeting like, oh, I just want to do seller finance deals. It's always been like, all right, I'm going to go for the wholesale, the off-market properties. A lot of them too were absentee owners. So like they own the home, but they don't live in the house. And in my market in Pennsylvania, 95% of the absentee owners, they owned it and it was a rental for them. And so when I came to them, I'm like, hey, would you be open to sell it? Yeah, we're open to selling it. And then if cash didn't work, I'd always pursue wholesale first. When cash didn't work, that's when I then pivoted into a seller finance combo. So like, hey, is that going to work for us buying it outright? Would you be open to seller finance if I gave you what you're looking for? Yeah, we'd be open to that. And I sold them on the idea of like, hey, you still get, it's a rental for you now. You're still getting passive income, but you're not dealing with the headache of the tenants, the repairs, the maintenance, nothing. It's just one steady check for you. And a lot of them, they ended up liking that. And that's the bulk of the lead sources that led to the seller finance. So that was like kind of like my go-to, to be honest. You could filter data though. Do you have like Batch, PropStream, or like any data services?
Yeah, I use PropStream and PropWire as well as a few other sites here and there. I kind of try to bounce between a couple just to kind of make sure it's accurate.
What you could do too, Anthony, everybody could do this, is if you want to specifically target the creative finance, then you could filter for off-market or on-market. It could go either way. You could do on-market property, so we already know they want to sell, but then filter for no equity, right? So like they literally have zero equity in the property, not a short sale, not behind or anything like that, but they have like little to no equity in the property, and that could just be sub-twos all day long. If you did that on the off market, then you're avoiding paying any agent commission and having to like work through that. So that's the only thing, you know, if you're going to play on market. But yeah, man, I would like really, you know, if the play's wholesaling, like you just want to do, like you want to do this full time, or are you planning on like keeping the job and building the portfolio on the side?
I kind of want to switch to this full time just because I have the struggle of not being able to kind of move where I want to. Currently where I'm at now, it's not the best place, and I don't want my area in the sun for too much longer, but my job's kind of keeping me anchored here.
Yeah. So I would I think this applies for like a lot of you guys, right? Like, all right, we want to do this full time. I would like just hone in on the wholesale, like really like, yo, I'm only going to focus on sourcing wholesale type leads. And then whenever it doesn't work for wholesale, just pivot into the creative and stuff's going to come about. You know, take a guy like John Benacor. You're here, right? You still with us? He's probably on the phone. John or Xander? Xander's another one. Xander, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Xander, he's got I'm thinking of Sharon right now. So like Xander's, you're pretty much solely focused, right? The lead source being the wholesale deals.
Yep.
Right. Xander came across a woman. He's closing the deal in what, next
Next
week,
Wednesday.
right? Yeah, next Wednesday. It's a wholesale, but that would have easily been a subject too. That would have been a walk in the park on sub 2. He'd just rather have a check now, which is fine. But lady literally told Xander, what'd she say? Like, oh, if I could just get 3, I had to convince her for us to give her money for the house. Literally.
Yeah, she was.
I don't want anything.
300.
Just take. She literally, her words verbatim. Take the house. I don't want it. And I said, look, we got to give you something. Can we at least give you $1,000 if you want to, but only if you insist? And that's literally a free house all day long. Sub 2, we could have pulled that thing off. So like, just focus on the wholesale, and the creative's going to come about it. Same thing with John this week. John Benecourt, I don't know if you're with us, but he got this guy. He's totally behind on the taxes. John could have wholesaled that and maybe took a fee on it. But maybe he couldn't have. It was he was trying to do wholesale. The guy owes more back taxes than what the thing's even worth, or somewhere around market value. So John's literally buying that, and it's going to be his first rental. So he was focused on wholesale. Identify like, hey, it's not going to work for wholesale. How about I just buy it subject to the debt of the taxes? I'll just take over the tax responsibility, take over the payments for that. And that was it. Boom. John's literally in the deal with nothing out of pocket. Zeros going to the seller. So I think John's with us now. That was the situation, right, John?
I'm sorry, I was on a phone call. What happened?
I was telling them about we're talking about like generating leads for creative finance, but I'm saying like focus on wholesale, and then creative's going to come about that. And I was sharing, you could probably give more context. The guy with the back taxes that you're now going to pick up as a rental, that one.
I literally went straight for cash, and then once I saw his back taxes, I was like, I talked to Eric about it, but I remembered this wasn't for this deal. It was for something else in the past that I skipped, but the guy sold it. He was like, you could have contracted that yourself, and you could have just took over the back taxes and then got a payment plan with the city, and that would have been your home. It would have been a free house. You just pay those payments off. And then there's 2 ways that you can cash flow or make money. You wrap it to an end buyer that gives you a down payment, and then most of the time, depending on the condition of the house, they can give you close to what it would rent for, or more than what it will rent for. But you're also profiting each month. The difference between what you're paying to the city, and then what you're charging to the end buyer. The other way that you can,
I'll be not to interrupt. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. The other way that you can cash flow would be so first one is end buyer, and then the other one is a rental. So if the condition is decent, maybe it just needs a little bit of paint. A little bit of, I don't know, the scratches on the walls, but no big holes. No, you don't have to knock anything down. You can rent it to somebody that's okay with renting it in that condition. They'll just give them a little discount. Give them like a couple $100 off for the first year, and then ask them if they can help you out under those conditions. They say, yeah, great. You just got yourself a free rental. I'm working on 2 of those right now, and both of them are under contract.
Let's go.
Dessert. Trying to get them. But the thing here is, and don't be scared of like, oh, but what about it being under my name or anything like that? It's not under your name. It's you're buying it subject to those taxes, so those taxes stay under the seller's name. You're protected with the contract to where the seller can't refinance. They can't sell the house. They can't do anything with the house without your written permission or your signature. And also for repairs, dude, it's so easy to find somebody anywhere in the world to repair anything for you. Just like Eric said, you don't have to buy stuff in your neighborhood, in your city. You can literally do this virtually. I haven't left my house for any of the properties that I've been working on ever. Only one of them, and that's like a $600,000 house, like down the street from me. Old lady, sad story. The husband passed away. And the house is too big for her. She just doesn't want the house anymore. So she wants 600 and something. I already told her, hey, I'm gonna be in the 400s. If that's something you'll entertain, I can come over and we can get it signed. She said, come on over. This weekend will be fine. But that's the only property I've ever left to go look at and gave an offer on.
Yeah. So Yeah, just like in summary, Anthony, I would, if the goal is to get out of the job, start doing this full time, just solely focus on the wholesale. Because the other thing too, just to keep in mind, everybody, like wholesale money's like today money, right? Like that's what's going to pay the bills and get you out of the job and whatnot. But like, the real estate that pays every single month, that's like tomorrow money, the big money at least, that's going to be like when we refi or cash out, and then we're going to get a large surplus of funds. So just keep that in mind, like focus on the wholesale. When wholesale doesn't work, start pitching on creative. And that's kind of what I would do. And if you're still really, I guess, adamant on getting some creative finance stuff, I would filter the data. So on market, off market, and like literally no equity at all. And that would be a hot list to pull.
Okay, so target people who are actually like low equity or no equity?
Yeah, I would just filter for like 1% or less equity. And then if you did all market, you already know they want to sell. And you can go deeper with that. I mean, you could do like absentee owner, so they own it, they don't live there, it's for sale, and they got no equity. That's going to be a hot list too. Anybody, I guess, have any other questions on that before we continue? No? All righty. Alex.
I was just going to say that, bro, your list, that list you put up there, what I found, I did kind of play with it a little bit. And the number one thing you got listed at the top of each one of those lists do yield the biggest results. So as you go down that list and you start using different keywords, the results drop down. They also, like, for example, like New England market, I was doing the seller finance, came at like 56K, and then you go down to the next one and you do like motivated seller, and it goes down to like 1,000, and you go a ring down. So what I noticed is that in that list you got, when you plug in those keywords, the top keyword is one that yields the heavier results. So
that's good to know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's up, Alex?
Yeah. So I messaged that lady about the house we were talking about yesterday, and she said, "Can you submit an offer in writing?" So this would be my first deal. So I'm trying to figure out how to go upon that. Should I ask her to represent me? It'd be a sub 2.
Yeah, I would ask her to represent us. Where we leave off exactly? Did we email her or anything?
Yeah, I emailed her, and then she didn't email me back. So I messaged her a few minutes ago, and I just said, "Hey, I wanted to follow up about the email I sent last night. Did the seller seems interested in the sub 2 offer with cash in pockets?" She said, "Hey, Alex, never got the full offer in writing. Can you submit it?" Here, I'll send you the Zillow link right there.
Do you think like she didn't get your email, or
she got it? She just I don't know.
All right. Did you say next? Like, can you represent us on this?
Yeah, I can send that over. I just didn't. To submit an offer. I mean, I didn't. I was looking in the sub 2 contracts, but wouldn't it be easier for her just to?
It's going to be the state contract, yeah. If she texted you or emailed you, like wherever that reply came in, just be like, could you represent us? And if so, can you write it up for us?
Okay. And then, so I should just put, because I don't know what she said they're behind like 8 months. So, I mean, I don't know their arrears. She wouldn't tell me. So like,
we'll contract it. She'll write all this up. Once we get into the contract, we're going to ask to do a loan modification, and that's going to wipe the arrears, hopefully, if we could pull that off.
Okay, so just ask her if she can represent me. If she says yeah, then just go forward with basically buy it subject to the debt.
Yeah, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Keep me posted on that, then, what she says.
Okay, thank you.
Joseph, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? So I was in contact with Russ the past few days, and he emailed me last night and gave me some of the numbers. I did share that with you to your Discord, and I told him we can do a 3-way call.
Is that the dude that I've been speaking to, like back and forth the past couple days?
I think it was it's the realtor
finance.
I think it's the child. They have the child lien on the house in Kansas City. It's
the TikTok deal.
Yes, the TikTok deal.
Sweet. All right. So what? He's down to do a 3-way call with the seller.
Or I think it's I told him it would be you and I would be calling him because he wanted to talk more about some numbers, and I was trying to put together. I was doing some of the math and I was trying to figure out what rent would be, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out the next step before having the conversation with him on the phone with the three.
All right, I'm looking at the screenshot you sent me. So he's saying between, I don't know if that's between both debts, but he's saying 3386 is what the payment comes out to be. We got to see what this thing could rent for. Let's figure that out, and then we could do the phone call. Could you just throw the address in the chat for me?
Sure.
Just not seeing it.
It's gonna be 9. I was looking at other ones that would rent in the area. It was about 2,600. It was about the difference. But it was probably 200 or so.
All right, that might make it tough. Such a nice home too, brand new. All right, let's check it out real quick.
Hey, Eric.
Yo.
Buyer signed the assignment agreement.
Which one?
For the reverse wholesale one I was talking about yesterday.
Dude, you got too many. You got more deals than I can keep track of.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. I was supposed to send you a list, but
Is that one a good fee?
Oh yeah, 7.5K.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. You're in. I think John, like you're at the point now where it's like consistent income with this. Really.
Yeah, I think
creeping in there. I love that.
I think I'm getting like 2 contracts signed a month. Not a month, a week, and then sending out at least 2 to 3 contracts a week, and just following up with them.
Dude, you're freaking killing it, dude. I love it.
Doing my mastermind. No, I'm just kidding.
Love it, dude. That's awesome. If you guys want to connect with John, just even like with deals, or you need help selling deals, John, you're covering a little bit of Houston, right? Cleveland, Akron.
Yeah. So all of Texas, major cities in Texas, and then everything in Ohio. So anything in Ohio you need help with, by all means, bother me, hit me up, blow my phone up. I'll answer, and we can work something out. I'm pretty good at comping for the most part. Eric is a master at it. And then, we can get them locked up. I'll help you sell it to a buyer.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, I'll post my number in my email.
Sweet. All right, Joe, on this, I think it's gonna be a swing, man. If he's saying it's 33 all in, we're not gonna be able to clear that. We'd have to get somebody to wrap it for 3,500. I can't believe the payment's that high. I'm a little shocked. Let's do that phone call. If you want to, we don't even got to do a 3-way call. If you just want to read off his number, I'll give him a call. I'll tell him you're with me here on the meeting.
Okay, it's 816.
Yep.
694-1309.
What was his name again?
Russ.
And then what was the street?
Let's see. 9110 Northeast. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, it's the first one.
Russ, may I help you?
Hey, Russ, it's Eric. We were in contact about the house on the 9110 Northeast Street.
Yes, sir.
I just want to reach out. I'm on a meeting actually right now with Joe speaking about it, but he said, I just wanted to make sure it was right. The house payment is $3,386.
I sent him all the numbers. Did he forward you the email?
He did. That's what I'm looking at. I was like shocked that it's that high. Is that true?
Well, I won't tell you what. This is what the man told me.
It wasn't 23.
Well, you know, he would probably have financed. I don't know the full thing. I don't know 4.5% BA. No money down. I'm sure. Let's see. Mail. Sent. Let me look at something. Inbox. From Rodney Carrington. He sent me a statement. ROD. Rodney. Sorry, I'm with a couple ladies working on a dishwasher problem, so there's a lot of noise around.
You're good.
A good statement.
Actually, it might be that high. He bought it in 22.
Due 9/1/24, $3,386.81.
And it said the normal principal and interest.
You've got taxes and insurance of $853 in that. You've got interest of $1,807 in that. You've got principal $725 in that. That all adds up to $3,386.81.
Okay. Is he living in the house now, or is it vacant?
It's vacant. He's moved to Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, man, I can't believe it's that high. I mean, it makes sense. He bought it in 22. I was thinking he was in a lower rate. That's gonna kill it.
Those VA no money down dudes, man. Here.
What do you think this house would rent for?
I have no idea. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna forward this to you. Let's see. You take text on this number?
Yes. Yep.
Message. What phone number's the text?
My phone number?
Yeah. Okay, just a minute. What's the text? What's the phone number?
570
807.
Yes. Yep. That's it.
You should have it any second here.
Well, I got you too. Do you have any other short sales?
Gonna have one down in the inner city. I'm just listed, but I got one that's under contract in the inner city. That's all I got right now.
Could I check out the one that's still for sale?
Sure. I'm just was given that one on referral yesterday, and I spoke to the lady, and we're doing the listing paperwork today. But it's sure I'll share it with you. It's that was a FHA short sale. This one's a VA short sale.
Okay.
Whenever I speak about short sales, I always talk about FHA, VA, USDA, whatever, because my knowledge of short sales, which is pretty deep, I'm always dealing with the mortgage insurers' position on short sales.
I think this deal is going to go dead because there's not going to be any, even on a wrap, it's going to be too tight. But this is a really good contact, so I would do a follow-up with him like every 2 weeks. Like, hey, what else you got? What else you got? I don't know if he's going to give us the address or send it to us, but I say let's explore this other one he's got.
Oh, yeah, you said it came in the box with the dishwasher. Sorry, I'm leaving.
No, you're good. Do you want to just email us back that address or text it when you have time?
I will. I'll text. I got your number. I'll text it when I have time.
All righty. All right.
So, yeah, this one, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this whole business works with y'all because I've never done it. But it looks to me like it's pretty daunting about what else owed on this thing. I'll be amazed if this of them.
Yeah, the snag on it's just not going to work. The snag is that we're not going to be able to rent it. It's just the payment's way too high.
Well, now he rented the thing, but you got to rent it for more than he rented it. He rented it through a property manager. I don't know what he was getting a month. I can ask him.
Could you ask him that? Because maybe there's still a shot we do something here. Shoot him an email because he's probably gonna forget. Respond to his email and just say, hey, when you have a chance, let us know what the owner rented the house out for. We might still be able to do it. We might get shocked and then maybe see an opportunity for a wrap. Yeah, if you could, just whenever you have time, if you could let me know, that'd be awesome. Maybe we could still save it.
Let me see. You still there? Yeah.
Yep.
Rodney. How much was your tenant paying?
Don't worry about that email then, Joe. He's texting the guy. If anything, shoot him a text tomorrow. Be like, hey, it's Eric's partner. Did you end up finding out how much the house, how much he had it rented for? I'd say if it's anything less than 2,600, then just pass on it. If it's above 26 or up, it's worth chasing. We could still do something. There might be another play to make money on this too. Do you have a buyer's list here yet or no? All right. I was going to say if you did, then we could assign it and then you could just take a check on it. That would still work. All good though. Yeah, let me know when you get that if you find that out and then
He read the email, so if he read it, he said that shouldn't be a hard question, should it?
Okay.
Should require lots of research. So one of the things I was going to ask you, Eric, so he is paying. He's paying monthly now that the judge has levied. This is pretty interesting. So that judgment lien on that child support thing was levied against the title, or recorded against the title in 2022 for a balance of $35,000. So now that balance is $54,000. And it's 2024, so I'm thinking, well, okay. So he says, well, I'm paying $1,000 a month. I said, are you current? I haven't checked with the Department of Social Services.
Actually, this deal is completely dead because he's got that payment $1,000. So now you're at $4,300 a month. There's no shot of wrapping
I
this.
wanted to conceptually know that this is something that even was in the realm of working before I invested tons of time into it.
Yeah, so he's really like between both of those, he's like what, $4,300 a month?
Well, he ain't paying neither one. I'm assuming he's paying the $1,000 a month, but something about the judge had levied $1,500 a month against him, and then he appealed to DSS, and they lowered it to $1,000 a month. And I don't quite understand the whole child support thing. Fortunately, I've never. They were paying the mortgage amount of $3,386, so they were paying what his monthly payment was.
Yeah. This deal is going to be dead, unfortunately. That payment's just way too high I'd be losing money every month. I'd like to explore the other one you got. There's no crazy stuff going on. There might be a shot we could buy that.
Okay, I'll send you that information after we get off the phone, okay?
All right, awesome. All right, I appreciate that.
So there's no way this is going to work, right?
Not on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've had other contract for deeds. I've had the lease option people call. I've had you guys call. I get all these calls, and I know these alternative programs pretty well, and I pretty well have just told everybody in the beginning. I said, I don't think you got anything here that's going to work. And they think, oh, you just don't want to do it. I go, listen, shitheads, let me tell you something. I've been doing this 22 years. I'm not trying to be, this ain't going to work. I'm just telling you, this thing has got a big burden. As soon as they start hearing the numbers, like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
They go away. So, yeah, you get pushback, but I didn't follow. I might sound like a Southern boy, and I am, but I have a little bit of intelligence.
No, Russ, you've been awesome to work with. So, I mean, can't get it on this one, maybe on the next one.
any rate, I'll be trying to help him to see if the VA will let him do a deed in lieu, because I'm not going to be able to help him. I'm not going to get a paycheck on this thing either. It ain't going to work for short sale, because in short sale, the VA will only allow $1,500 to a secondary lien on a title. I don't care if it's $100,000 owed or if it's $10,000. They give $1,500, period. And I haven't met a disgruntled wife yet, so or ex-girlfriend or barfling, whatever she is or whatever she was. I haven't run into anybody who's willing to take $1,500 against $54,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's as long as nothing crazy pops up, I think there's going to be a real opportunity on this other one then. Just if you just shoot that when you can. If you text that or email it to us, and then I'll do some due diligence. If we think it's a go, I'll reach back out to you.
All right, thank you. I'll text you something here in a little bit. Okay.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, Russ.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you. All right. Shoot, I don't want to get that text because I get too many. So Joe, shoot him a text. Be like, hey, I'm Eric's partner. Can you text me the address of the other property you got?
Okay, thank you. So there's probably no way to do an assignment fee on that because it's already too high. The
payment's insane.
Payments, yeah, that was insane. Yeah, but thank you for the help on that.
The child support, the payment on the child support just totally kills it. But shoot him that text right now because just to make sure you get it.
Sure.
Alrighty. And then if you look at the property, if you could find photos, it seems like it's somewhat decent. Then follow up and ask them for the total mortgage balance and the payment amount. And then if you let me know about that, then we could see if it all makes sense. Sweet. Ryan, you got a question?
Yeah, quick question regarding the VA. So I'm getting one together to start putting together more emphasis on the buyers list. How many buyers should they be able to do in a 4-hour shift? Like
You're saying a VA?
Yeah, just exploring the options. I guess a 4-hour shift in general, whether we go the VA route or the other options we were talking about.
Yep. It would depend on the strategy. So I would say like a minimum in 4 hours. I don't know, probably like 50 to 100 to get going, because you got to remember they got to do that initial outreach and then they got to wait for somebody to respond. So the first day might be like 20 because they're just shooting DMs out, but then day 2 and 3, day 2, 3, 4, they should be between like that 50 to 80.
Okay, I got you. Because I was thinking
if they're doing Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, just the group method. It's kind of what the main thing I was thinking.
Have them do a ghost ad too then.
Okay. I got you. Ghost ad like once a week or something like that.
Once a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, do a ghost ad once a day in every single group. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dang.
And then have them scrape too, right? So like do the area code. If they did that, I mean, even first day, it should be at least 50 people. I mean, over 4 hours, what is that? What does that come out to? Like 30? Not even. That's 12 people an hour to scrape. They should be like first day scraping like at least 100 people.
Okay, I was thinking more like 10 to 15 on a 4-hour shift, but.
No, man, what are they doing then? Twiddling their thumbs? They just scrolling Facebook? So, yeah, man, if there's enough groups and enough people, then yeah, if they just did the area code, like give them a list of the area codes, like give them multiple phone area codes for Little Rock, just do like a Google search, same thing with like Atlanta. Make sure, I'd say before you start that, think though, like what profile are they doing this on? Because if it's their personal Facebook and you could tell they're a VA, people are going to be less receptive to like open up and share contact info.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe buy like a Facebook account or something. Or do you know if there's a way to give like guest access to our personal Facebook accounts or anything like that?
That I don't know. To be honest, my VA I just trusted so much. I just gave her the login to my Facebook. Plus, I don't use it, so it didn't really bother me.
Okay.
Maybe do a Google search, see if there's like seasoned Facebook accounts, something like that. You might have a shot there.
Okay. Perfect. I'll get to it then. And 4 hours is good, or 6?
Yeah,
or
that's
8?
more than enough. To be honest, I would maybe do less, just so they don't get burnt out. Maybe like 2 hours a day or something.
Okay.
Because like 4 hours scraping is kind of like,
Yeah.
get tedious.
Yeah, that's how I started to feel when I was getting to our buyers today, and I was like, we need to outsource this like now.
Yeah, set a high expectation though. So I would maybe kind of the flow would be like, all right, first day you're just gonna scrape for 2 to 4, whatever you want to do. The whole day you're just gonna be scraping using these strategies. I don't know, maybe on the Facebook page you make that account and then you show them how to or make the post, the ghost ad, like you make it all nice. Don't let them do it. And then tell them what to do. Be like, all right, check the DMs, DM the people that liked it, DM the people that commented, try and get their phone number and email. Trying to think if there's anything else. And then if you wanted to get more seasoned people, have them do some of the other strategies. So give them the login to the auto, do the cash buyers, and tell them just to probably not going to be best to call them. Tell them just to text them, create maybe 10 generic texts. Hey, came across the house on blah, blah, blah street. And they could just copy and paste and do that too.
Okay.
Get a whole lot less people, but you'll get some seasoned people in there.
Okay. Yeah, because I was calling auto cash buyer this morning. I went through 20 properties and none of the numbers connected.
Texting too, though?
No, I didn't text. It was mostly landline numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't real numbers.
I got you.
I don't know if that's an auto thing or just a.
That could be, to be honest with you. I don't know if I don't know what's going on with their skip, if it's the same provider or not. We were a hair better than Batch. To give you a general idea, it's the same source as Jerry Norton's PropWire. We're tapped into the same data warehouse. So I personally have mixed feelings on the skip trace. Sometimes I think it's great, and then other times I'm like, I don't know. So maybe just keep that in mind too. You could always put together a list of cash buyers in auto, since you already have the credits, and then well, actually I guess you can. I was going to say export the list and then skip it somewhere else if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be able to do that. You can't export just a list.
Maybe in prop, right? You can.
You could in prop, yeah. You could do a 30-day free trial, export 10,000 records if that's still the setup they got, and then take it and skip it, or skip it on prop if you wanted to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just Facebook and texting from data, and they should be able to do 50-ish a day. That should be the goal. Yeah,
I would think if they're doing 2 hours a day within a week and a half tops, they should have 500 contacts from scraping and ghost ads and all that. Because a good ghost ad, if you could pull that off right, dude, that could be 200 contacts just off of one post.
I got you. Okay. And when we say scraping, they're not contacting, if they see an email, right, in Facebook, are they contacting them too, or just taking that email?
No, they're anybody that put their info on a Facebook page, we're just taking it.
Okay, I got you. So we're not vetting anyone. We're just getting data.
I wouldn't know. There's no need, because what'll happen is when you start doing these text blasts, you're gonna get the people that say, "Take me off your list" or whatever, and that's fine. Whatever, I'll just take you off the list. But for the amount of time it takes to try and get in touch and then actually have a conversation with one person, it's just I don't know. I just don't think it's that efficient.
Fair enough.
You get more of a bang for your buck just throwing them on a list.
I got you. And in terms of pay, a couple bucks an hour. If we go to
see if you can pull it off for $4 an hour.
Okay, I got you. I was thinking $2 plus 1% commission.
You could do that too. Whatever. There's no rules to it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. $2. If you can pull that off, let me know.
Yeah, well,
That's funny. Alrighty.
thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, for
I'll throw
sure.
something out, bro. So I did a little thing for Intuit. I was doing Rocket Mortgage and TurboTax. Our boss, Eric, would have been one of those nightmare bosses. 100 calls. Where I was lucky to get 100 calls in a 20-hour shift sometimes, and that was all inbound. But what I was gonna say is that they would give us like 15 minutes tops. They wanted us basically getting everything covered within 15 minutes. And if you're saying like we would do 4-hour shifts, but if you're doing 2-hour shifts, obviously that's 15 times 4 for an hour, and you do 2 of those. I guess that's 8 calls for a 2-hour shift. So if you did a 4-hour shift, I think you're right in line with that 10 to 15 ish. That's at least what we would do. Eric's a little ambitious, and I have no problem with it, bro. I understand.
Oh yeah. All right, Aaron. This one was. Are you with us, Aaron? You still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man? How you been?
Not much. Just been working.
That's what's up. Aaron's the first Discord member ever, right? First or second?
Yeah, it was me or Nate, one of the two.
I think you were the first, though. This one was.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, man. What? All right. So I know I spoke to this person. Where did we leave off? Did she like give an email or something?
So it was Kyle, and I believe he left his email, but I think I might have missed like a digit or something to email anything. But I believe like we weren't able to do a sub 2 since the owner was either behind on payments or they're in debt by like 90,000 or something like that. So I think what you were trying to do was try to get like a wrap around it,
Mm-hmm.
and then go from there.
All right.
Yeah.
Should I see if you maybe spoke to the seller too and had the convo?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we could do. You still flipping homes over there?
Yep. I'm currently with my brother. He just picked up, I think, like 2 or 3 rentals that he just got on creative finance deals. And then we got a flip coming up too. And then outside of that, I'm pretty much working on like a dude's rentals and working on that type of stuff.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if this is we spoke to Kyle, right? This is Brendan.
Yes.
Bro. Actually, no, this is him. All right. Hopefully we can get him.
Hello, the person you were trying.
Try again. Aaron, you still have my cell phone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him a text if we don't get him on this, and then if you want to hit me up tomorrow, I'll see if there's an update. I could always try him again.
Okay, that sounds good.
And we spoke to him yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, the person you were trying to reach.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him a text.
Because I think this was the one property that it was about. I'm not sure if it's about, but the homeowners are about to get like foreclosed on or something like that.
All right. Just give me one. I'm just texting this out to him. All right, I just shot him that text. Hopefully he gets back to us. Hit me up tomorrow then, and I'll see if he got back to us. Try and push
All right,
it.
that sounds good.
All right, sweet. All right. Anybody, I guess, have any final questions before we wrap things up? You all feeling good?
One quick question. So, in terms of creative for things that need a lot of work, like our purchase price really doesn't go too much up, right? Based like cash versus creative. Like if it's like a 12 or 18.
Say that one more time. My bad.
Yeah, no. So like in terms of like creative, right? If there's a house that needs a lot of work, like for example, 75K worth of work, ARV's 200, and cash, let's say cash is at like 60K. For creative, the max we might be able to do is like 75, right? On like a 1-year note, because you're gonna have to pay them off after the flip.
Yeah, you still want that equity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like if they carry, you'll put a little, or I'm sorry, you'll be able to pay a little bit more, right? Because it's kind of like a novation, but you still want that return on investment. Like, all right, I'm putting money into the property. I still want to be able to increase the value and be able to get a good chunk of money on the cash out.
Okay. So still keep the whatever the number works out to, have the investor make at least a 20% cash on cash.
I would say so. Mm-hmm. You can maybe slide a little bit under 18%.
Yeah.
17 to 20%, I think would be fair.
Yeah. Contract it at 30, sell it at 20.
I lost you there.
Like contract it where the numbers are coming out to like a 30% cash on cash return, and then put a fee on it where the whole end buyer's making 20%.
Yeah, almost like maybe an easier way to do that would just be like ARV times 0.8 minus updates. And then like, okay, if they're willing to hold paper at that price, then it's going to make sense.
Okay. I got you.
All righty. Clive, man, I see your question, the novation. We did not. Can you hear us? I see you're connecting to audio. Clive, I know you wanted to cover novation. I didn't see you in here in the beginning, and then we talked about the rentals and all that. Let's if you guys are game, let's do Tuesday. This one I'm with you guys next. Let's do a deep dive into the novations. Will you be able to make that, Clive? Tuesday afternoon?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll plan on that then. We'll do Tuesday afternoon. We'll take a deep dive into that. All right. You guys got Zoom with Terrell tomorrow morning, and then I'll be back with you guys Tuesday. So enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and I'll see you guys then.
I'm good, Amanda. How are you?
Thank you.